me a little bit about the Red Ribbon Now campaign and what it means to you.
It's something that I've just found out about, but it's been a huge education for me just from the Meth 360 presentation that's put on, things that I didn't know would happen in our community at such a young level. I have a 4-year-old who's going to be going to elementary school in 2 or 3 years, and I can't imagine that someone will be offering him drugs at school at that age. I didn't think that I'd have to start talking about drugs with my son until maybe junior high or high school. So now I know I need to start having those conversations now, because that's the last thing I want is for him to get involved at a time that I didn't even know it was going to be offered to him, and I'm not there to protect him.
So Red Ribbon Now has already affected your life in the sense
Almost
that
definitely.
you're going to start educating your child at an earlier age, which for our community, how's that going to benefit our community?
Well, I mean, my son is going to be educated, and he's going to be in a position to talk to his friends that he's had school with, and if someone, for instance, offers them a drug that, or something different that they're not aware of, maybe like in the form of candy, my son will be able to tell them, hey, I've had this conversation with my dad. This is something that's bad for us. It'll make us sick, it can get us in trouble, and we don't want anything to do with it.
Right, so if it starts at home, if it starts at the core level in the family, it will go out into the community and make an impact.
And it's amazing that we're having to start that young, but I'm so glad to know that now before he actually gets to school, and I didn't have an opportunity to nip it in the bud.
Before something could get out of control.
Exactly.
Great. What about Red Ribbon Now for you?
Well, I too have a daughter who's 2 years old. I have another one that is on the way, and similar to what Kurt said, I had no idea that I would have to face that discussion with my daughter so early. The cheese, as well as a new drug, Quick, I think they put Nestle's Quick, it makes it look like strawberry, which would definitely appeal to my daughter.
Right.
And the damage that it has done, well, I don't have any direct experience with it. I've got friends who have been affected, their sons specifically, and it was devastating to them. You know, it had effects beyond the user. The families to this day are affected by it, and it affects how they live their life.
What could you do in our community to help educate others? Starting at home with their families is what you're doing. Could you take
Well,
that out to the community?
I'm a business owner, and it's something that I can share with my friends as well as my business associates who have children, to ask them what has been their experience and share with them what I've learned through the Red Ribbon Now campaign, and how I can hopefully share the message that we are trying to present to their families.
Great. Well, thank you so much for sharing.